Today we are embarking on a deep dive into one of the most intense yet frequently misunderstood experiences of human growth. We're talking about the dark night of the soul.
Yeah, it's a phrase that's easy to overuse. We hear it a lot when someone is just, going through a rough patch or a major breakup.
Right.
But our sources frame this period as something far more profound. It's this necessary and often really brutal developmental stage. It basically requires a total breakdown of the old self before any real transformation can happen.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to unpack this transformative crisis. What exactly is the dark night of the soul, both spiritually and, psychologically?
And then from there, we'll explore the specific tools people use to navigate it.
Exactly. The anchors people use to get through that descent, particularly the grounding power of healing crystals. We're really exploring the whole journey from the psychological need for this breakdown to the ethical challenges of the tools we choose.
To really get it, we have to start with the history. The term itself actually goes all the way back to a 16th century Spanish mystic and poet, St. John of the Cross.
He wrote about something called Noche Oscura, right?
That's it. And St. John saw the dark night not as some kind of divine punishment, but as a phase of what he called passive purification.
Passive purification. What does that actually mean?
It's where your usual sensory comforts, even your typical spiritual practices, feel like they're deliberately withdrawn. It leads to these intense feelings of being abandoned.
So it feels like you've been cut off.
Completely. And this is where we need to talk about this idea of via negativa. It's a key concept. St. John taught that the path to a true mystical union isn't about adding things, not saying God is this, God is that.
Right.
It's about detachment. It's a process of defining the divine by what it is not. It's unknowable. So the abandonment you feel during the dark night actually pushes growth because it forces you to detach from every earthly comfort.
Wow. So that completely reframes the whole experience of pain. It's not just suffering for suffering's sake. It's like an enforced spiritual weight loss program.
That's a great way to put it. And if we fast forward to, say, 20th century psychology, Carl Jung gives us a secular framework for this exact same journey.
Of course, Jung. For him, the dark night is a critical step in what he called individuation.
Exactly. Individuation is this ultimate psychological journey toward becoming a whole, integrated, self-realized person, what he called the self.
And the crisis of the dark night happens because there's a huge conflict, right? Something has to collapse.
A profound conflict, yeah. Your existing structure just gives way.
So if the dark night is about this necessary collapse, what is it that's actually collapsing? Is it just a few bad habits, or are we talking something deeper, like Jung's idea of the persona?
It's the persona, 100%, or the ego that's built on it. The persona is that mask, the old self that we build based on what society expects, the roles we play, our need for approval.
The public face.
The public face. And when that fragile mask can no longer handle the truth of your life, it has to be destroyed. It forces you into this internal chaos. Jung was very clear about this. He said there is no coming to consciousness without pain.
The suffering is the labor of transformation.
It is.
This brings up a really critical question for you, the listener. How do you know if you're in a dark night or if you're dealing with, say, clinical depression? Because our sources say they can coexist, but they are fundamentally different.
They are, and it's a vital distinction. Clinical depression often involves total apathy, a real loss of humor, and often physical symptoms. You see severe disturbances in sleeping, eating.
Right, the body is deeply affected.
Deeply. And crucially, the depressed person is often quite embittered. They can get trapped in a cycle of self-loathing, really focused on their own discomfort.
Whereas with a spiritual dark night, the sources suggest the person stays more intact somehow.
Intact is the perfect word. The pain is overwhelming, absolutely. But there's usually this deeper intuitive knowing that there's a purpose to the pain.
So there's an awareness of your own incompleteness, but it's not coupled with that same sense of morbid guilt or worthlessness you see in severe depression.
Exactly. And that awareness of purpose is what allows a person to commit to the hardest part of the work.
Which is shadow work. This is where you actually turn around and face the darkness you've been carrying.
You got it. Shadow work is just that, exploring and integrating the shadow. That's all the hidden, repressed parts of your psyche.
Which includes the obvious things like fears, insecurities, trauma.
All of that. But also, surprisingly, your unrealized talents. The potential beauty in yourself that you rejected because you were afraid of it.
That's fascinating. So it's not all bad stuff in the shadow.
Not at all. The goal is integration. One source put it beautifully, calling it shining light into the dark caves of our minds to reintegrate the split-off traumatized parts.
And to do that kind of work, you need anchors.
You absolutely need anchors. Creative outlets are great writing, dance, even something like primal shaping to just move that blocked energy. And this is where we bring in the geological anchors.
Crystals.
Crystal.
Now, our sources are very clear on this point. Crystals are tools. They're anchors. They are not magic cures.
No. Their purpose is to help you stay present and conscious with the pain. It's about supporting your intention to walk through the fire, not avoid it.
And the intention setting part is huge.
Paramount. The idea is you hold the crystal, you focus on your goal grounding, protection, whatever it is, and you speak that intention out loud. It's believed that this process imprints your intention onto the stone's crystalline structure.
So you're creating a connection between your energy and its frequency.
That's the theory.
During the chaos of the dark night, grounding seems like it would be job number one.
Yeah.
Just connecting back to physical reality, keeping your root chakra energy anchored.
Oh, it's essential.
So what are the heavy hitters? The stones recommended for staying centered when there's an internal storm raging.
Well, for stability and just general detox, Smoky Quartz is at the top of the list. It's a powerful variety of quartz known for neutralizing negative vibrations.
I've heard it's used as an EMF shield, too.
It is, yeah, and for psychic protection, but its key role here is anchoring your spiritual energy into your body so you don't just float away in existential panic.
Okay, what else?
Then you have hematite. It has this very metallic, earthy energy. It centers and balances, and it's said to actively absorb toxic emotions and stress.
Like a little psychic sponge.
That's a good way to think of it. And of course, red jasper for that nurturing, stabilizing vitality. But for pure protection, you have to talk about black tourmaline.
The ultimate bodyguard stone.
Yes, it creates this protective shield around your etheric body, blocking negativity you might encounter, or even generate yourself while doing deep shadow work. It's like putting up a huge energetic boundary.
That's a powerful lineup for just holding your ground. But what about the stone for the actual confrontation? The one that helps you look in the mirror? I'm thinking of black obsidian.
The mirror of the soul. It is phenomenal. And what makes it such a powerful mirror is how it's formed. It's volcanic glass cooled rapidly from lava.
So it has this very quick transformative energy.
Incredibly quick and intense. It aggressively brings hidden emotions and deep truths right to the surface. There's no hiding from it.
These don't do pleasantries.
No, at all. It forces you to confront and release blockages, which makes it an ideal, if sometimes very intense companion for shadow work.
Okay, so once that confrontation happens, you need some support, some balance. So moving from intense grounding, what about the stones for tranquility and emotional healing?
This is where we talk about amethyst and rose quartz.
Amethyst, the beautiful purple one. It's been revered forever as a stone of tranquility, right?
Well, that's since ancient times. It promotes inner peace, mental clarity. Its gentle energy is said to be really soothing for the nervous system, which is great for anxiety.
And there are physical claims too, aren't there?
There are. It's believed to help with deeper, more restful sleep by calming the system and maybe even reducing stress hormones like cortisol, which can spike during a crisis like this.
And headaches, I've heard.
Yes, easing tension headaches and migraines, possibly by relaxing the neck. It makes sense since stress is so often held there.
So practically you just keep it nearby on a nightstand or something.
Exactly. Or use it as the center stone in a dedicated crystal grid for sleep and rest. It's very versatile.
And then you contrast that calming energy with rose quartz.
The heart specialist. This stone is all about soft, feminine energy, compassion, peace. It speaks directly to the heart chakra.
So its focus is purely emotional healing.
Purely, it's about dissolving old wounds, encouraging self-love and forgiveness, which is so vital when the ego is crumbling. It's used to heal the inner child, to soothe anxiety and anger from heartbreak or betrayal.
It's the ultimate emotional balm.
It really is. And just a little nerdy point from the material mineralogists in the 90s actually made a distinction between rose quartz, which is permanently colored, and pink quartz, which can form single crystals with more unpredictable hues.
But for healing purposes, they're both used for that same soft, heart-centered energy.
Correct.
Okay, now that we've covered the metaphysical practices, the history, we have to take the deep dive we promised and look at the critical side of things, the science and the ethics.
Which is so important because the healing stone industry is massive. It's worth over $1 billion globally. We need to understand the limitations.
So from a purely scientific standpoint, what's the verdict?
Well, crystal healing is classified as a complementary or alternative medicine, and, to be blunt, a pseudoscience. There is very limited scientific evidence for direct physiological healing claims.
But there is some real science involved with crystals, right? Like the piezoelectric effect.
Yes, discovered by the Curie brothers way back in 1880. This proved that crystals create a measurable electrical discharge when you put them under pressure.
And we use that in technology all the time. Quartz watches, sonar.
We do, but here's the crucial caveat. That frequency is incredibly small. The healing claims refer to a frequency that is just minuscule compared to what's used in actual medical therapies that use electrical currents. The skeptics say it's just too negligible to do anything.
And there's also the placebo effect.
Which is huge. There was a study where volunteers reported feeling all the classic crystal effects, calmness, tingling, you name it.
Okay.
And they felt it regardless of whether they were holding genuine quartz or just an indistinguishable plastic placebo stone.
So the conclusion there is that the power is likely in the mind instead of in the crystals.
Which, interestingly, brings us right back to our talk about intention. If you program the stone with your intention, your brain internalizes that goal and uses the physical object as an anchor to help manifest the change.
The power of belief is undeniably strong. But that brings us to the ethical shadow of this massive industry. Our sources really challenge the idea that you can seek personal purification using tools that might be, as they say, cloaked in darkness.
And this is the tough part of the conversation. The huge demand for these stones relies heavily on unregulated artisanal mining, mostly in developing nations.
Which leads to labor abuses.
Yes, including the documented use of child labor and extremely dangerous, unmonitored working conditions. And then there's the environmental impact.
Right. Deforestation, river contamination.
The destruction of entire ecosystems. It's a serious problem with the lack of regulation.
So this puts a responsibility on the consumer, on you, the learner. You have to practice critical consumerism.
You have to. Ask sellers for their sources, demand transparency. If a stone is super cheap, you should probably be skeptical. Ethical sourcing costs more because it accounts for safe labor and environmental care.
And there are alternatives, right? Like choosing naturally formed stones like Obsidian. It's volcanic glass. It isn't mined in the same way.
Or buying used stones, or making sure that if you buy a tool like a gua sha, you know where the stone came from. It's about being conscious.
This has been a profoundly complex journey. We started with the intense internal purification of the dark night, the deconstruction of the old self.
And we looked at the crystalline anchors people use. Black tourmaline for protection, obsidian for confronting the shadow, amethyst for finding some peace in the storm.
And we had to finish by acknowledging the complex ethical reality of these beautiful tools. The wisdom you gain from surviving a dark night really demands a holistic view. You have to integrate your own transformation with a sense of collective responsibility.
So here's the final provocative thought for you to carry forward from all this. The dark night of the soul is about confronting and integrating our unacknowledged parts to become whole.
Right.
If that's the goal, you should really consider if the healing tools you choose are themselves cloaked in darkness from environmental harm or labor issues, and what that truly means for your own path toward integrity and, ultimately, purification.
Keep exploring that question, and we encourage you to continue your personal exploration of all the sources we've discussed today.